Welcome back. In the previous lesson, we understand what is HTTP request. Now, in this lesson, we're going to understand what is HTTP response. The HTTP response is a message sent by the server back to the client. And the client could be the browser, mobile app, Postman request, anything. The main purpose of this response is to either return the request data like HTML page, JSON, image, or file, etc., and also inform the client what exactly happened. It could be a success, error, redirect, etc. Here is a typical HTTP response from the server. And in this HTTP response, we have the three main parts. One is status line, and second one is the header, and third, response body. Now let's try to understand the three main parts, which is the status line, header, and body in detail. Let's get started with the status line. The first line in the HTTP response is called the status line. And here is an example of the status line that what we have is something like this. What we have is the first is HTTP and followed by version and some status code and some short message. So the status line is actually equal to HTTP response plus status code plus some short message. It tells us in one line what happened to your request. And here what we see is the HTTP response 1.1, which essentially means the version of the HTTP. It tells us which version the HTTP server is using for this message. And the status code here is 200. The meaning of 200 is actually success. And generally, the status code is denoted by the 3 digits. And here what you can see is the common status codes that generally you will see. And here is what you're going to see is the common format in which the status code that you will see, which starts with 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. If the status code starts with 1, and this actually means an informational. If the status code starts with 2, which means success. 3 is a redirection, 4 is a client error, 5 is server error. And what you see in this table is the common status codes examples. Status code 200 is actually indicates success and the short code message, and the short message is OK, which actually indicates a success. It could be the message or the data coming from the client and it validated successfully, and also our server has actually processed it and it could be saved into the database and whatever. So which essentially means the status code 200 means that that particular transaction or the particular transfer is success. And 201, it could be the created. Probably it could be some kind of a post request where the data is being received or sent from the client using post request. And here in the server, the data is being processed and saved into the database, or it created in some resource. So if something is created or something is being created in that particular fashion, and here the status code that you'll get is 201. Whereas the status code with the 400, 401, 403, and 404 are the client errors, which means this is the error is generated because of some client, or the client actually sent some invalid data, which is 400. And the client needs authentication, which is 401. And the client is not allowed, which is forbidden, which is 403. And the resource itself is not found, which is 404. So these are the errors is being created by the client. If the error is generated in the server, then it is start with 500. All right, so this is how the status code has been defined. And the next main part is the header, and which is almost same as the HTTP request that we have discussed, and which essentially contains the metadata, which means some set of instructions. And here is an example of the headers. And what you can see is we have the date, some server example, and content type, content length, etc. Let's break down this example of headers in detail. The first one is a date, which tells you the date and time when the server generated the response. And next is the server. It identifies the software on the server. It could be Apache, Nginx, or any kind of a custom app. And it is often used for the debugging and any information in the production. Some people hide the details for the security reasons. And next one is the content type. Probably we already touched upon this concept in the HTTP request also, where it actually tells us what is the type of data that body contains. The common examples are it could be a HTML page, application JSON, which actually indicates the JSON data, image/PNG is a PNG image, text plain, or it indicates the plain text. In our response, what we see is the application/JSON, which means that the body is a JSON format. And next what we see is the content length. Content length will actually indicate the number of bytes in the body. And this helps us the client know where exactly the body ends. And this content length is especially important when the connection is reused. And the next main part is the response body. Just like the body in the HTTP request, it also carries the main data. The body in the HTTP response, which is actually the actual content the server is sending back to the client. It could be a web page, it could be an API or a JSON data, or it could be some binary data like images, PDFs, videos, and etc. And what you're seeing here is the simple JSON data, and where the content type is the application/JSON. Now, let me put all together, and here is the HTTP response. It's typically that you will see. The first line is a status line, and it will tell us like what is the HTTP version, and here it is HTTP 1.1, and the result is 200, okay, which indicates a success. And in headers, we have a date, which means that when the response is created, and server, which essentially means that what is the software that is being used, and content type is here it shows the application/JSON, and it actually indicates the data type of the body, and here basically it means a JSON, and the content length, which essentially tells us the length of the body in bytes, which is 68 bytes. And after that, there is a blank line which will be intentionally created, which indicates that headers are finished. And after this, the actual body starts. And it is actually matched with the content type. And the content type in the header mentions application/JSON. And the body is also in the same format. And the body is also in the JSON format. All right. So here is the JSON data, which actually means the actual data that carries in the body. Cool. So hope now you understand what exactly the HTTP response. Now in the next lesson, let's look into some of the few questions like knowledge check, and which will enhance or boost our confidence. I will see you on that. Until then, happy learning.